I'm going live right now because I haven't gone live. Well, I think I went live once. I'm not sure. But the reason I'm doing this is because something crossed my mind. And yes, I'm driving, but I'm paying attention to the road. So, um, I've been doing the van life already for a few months now. And a lot of people ask me, like I was just hanging out with one of my best friends, and she asked me, like, what made me do this, live in a van. And the reason, this is something that I haven't told anyone, so I'm going to disclose something to the world right now, basically. Um, for a year and a half, I was being harassed. I was being tortured to the point, that I developed anxiety, something that I never had, and panic attacks. Never, I didn't know what they were. Didn't like nothing ever bothered me to the point where it's like I would have anxiety or whatever. It passed already. Like I'm not going through that anymore ever since I started living in the van. So it's like no more anxiety, no more panic attacks. But the reason I developed that, for a year and a half was because my next door neighbor was waiting for me when I would get home from work. He would open his door before I left for work and just like whisper when nobody could hear him. Nobody could hear what he was saying, and it's like, oh, come here, let me talk to you. He would just say like a lot of different things and basically harassing me. Now, I went to, and I reported it, and the police couldn't do anything about it because, in their words, unless he physically harms me, they can't do anything about it. So I couldn't get an order of protection, couldn't get a restraining order. I couldn't really do anything. All I could do was just like file the report and, of what was going on, but they couldn't do anything. Now, it got to the point where it was like I had to leave where I was. I had to leave. I couldn't deal with it anymore. So for months, I had been seeing videos. It was just like everything just came into play. So I had been seeing videos, like, because I kept saying, like, I want to leave, I want to leave, I want to leave. I want to leave where I am. I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to keep going through this, right? And for some odd reason, which I'm not going to say is coincidence, but it kind of is, but I guess maybe it was just a sign, too, of me just watching videos of people living in vans. So I said, this is something that I, as a little girl, always wanted to do. Literally, because I remember in the 70s, the late 70s, I saw this guy and he was living out of his van. He had it like hooked up, you know, and it was one of those, literally like one of those little Scooby-Doo vans. And I can't remember what's the name, what's the make and model of that van, but it was basically one of those vans, and it was a Scooby-Doo van. And I remember, he had it. It was blue. It was blue and white, and it was the cutest thing because he was talking about how he cooks in there and he sleeps in there. He had quilts or whatever, and he would sleep in his van, in the back of the van. And when he wasn't sleeping in it, like, he had his little camping gear and stuff, and he would cook and all of that and be out in the outdoors. So I said, you know what? This is something that I know that I can do. Live in a van. I was homeless for like a year, which I don't know if a lot of people know that, but I was homeless for a whole year, living out of a car. And my thought process was that, ooh, Sorry, I got distracted, but they have a whole thing. I just finished passing the botanical gardens. I guess they have like a whole Halloween thing going on over there. But anyway, um, so I'm thinking if I could live out of a car, a two-door car at that, then I can live out of a van. So I started doing my research, looking for a van. Oh, somebody got pulled over by the cops. I started doing my research and looking for vans, and I finally found this one, which I kind of have a name for it. Can't remember which one I decided on yet, but I will let you guys know what that is, because I wrote it down somewhere. Like, I write everything down because I don't, like, I have so much going on in my brain that I don't remember everything. So I named my van finally, after a while. Named it, and I will let you guys know what that is soon enough. But I might even put it in the caption. I don't know if I remember what it is, because I can't even remember what it is right now. Like I said, I have so much going on in my brain. But so yeah, so I decided to live out of my van, and a lot of people are not happy, but you know what? I'm happy for the simple reason that let me turn on the light. I'm happy for the simple reason that I'm not being harassed anymore. I'm not being tortured. Turn off the light. And it's like I don't have somebody constantly waiting for me after I get home from work and park my car, because I had a car, and park my car and waiting for me inside of the lobby to harass me. So if this is a choice that I made so I can feel safer and happy and stress-free and not have anxiety and not have panic attacks, then this is the choice that I made. And a lot of people don't like it, but you know what? Maybe now you will all understand as to why I did this. And it's just something that I needed to do. I needed to feel better about. What is this guy doing? And it's just something that a choice that I made that I'm okay with. And I would just like if other people would be okay with it, now that I told you, you know, the whole gist of it. And I wasn't saying anything to anyone as to why I did it. But that's why. Like, this guy was literally, like, I felt like he was torturing me. And this is someone that everybody knew in the building that, you know, this guy is literally like a freaking monster. And I'm not going to mention his name because, you know, I'm not going to do that. But I know a lot of you are going to see this video and you're going to know exactly who I'm talking about. And this is why. Like, he literally was just, like, torturing me. And he would do things where people wouldn't see what he was doing. He would say things where people wouldn't hear what he was saying. And it was just a thing where, you know, I couldn't deal with it anymore. I really couldn't. I felt like I couldn't breathe. And there were times where it's like I didn't even want to come, I didn't even want to go home after work because I knew that he would be waiting for me. He would be waiting in the building, or he would be waiting, you know, in front of the building. And you know, I literally, it would freak me out, and I just didn't want to do that anymore. So my choice and my decision to live in a van, you know, and be able to drive around and park and sleep wherever I want is liberating, and I feel like I can breathe. So, you know, and I get to travel, I get to go places, and it's like I don't have to worry about paying for a hotel. I don't have to worry about whose house I'm gonna sleep in, or where I'm gonna stay for the night. I literally can park my van and just, as long as I stay in safe locations, I'm good. Like, I can sleep in my van, and and I don't feel uncomfortable sleeping in my van. If I get a feeling of uncomfortableness, it's like I'm going through a tunnel and it's mad bright right now. But if I ever get the feeling like I'm uncomfortable somewhere, or like I get like a weird feeling where it's like, I park somewhere and it's like, I don't think I should stay here right now, and I get like that gut feeling, something telling me not to stay parked in wherever I'm parked, I literally will, no matter what time it is, I will turn on the van and I will find somewhere else to park, because I am not going to stay where I am not comfortable. So, and that's happened quite a few times, where I'll park somewhere and it's like I'll lay down and I'll get like a funny feeling in my stomach, and it's like, nah, I'm not staying here tonight. Nope. And I literally will get up. I could be extremely exhausted, but I will get up out of bed and go and find somewhere else to park where I feel like, okay, I'm staying here tonight. I feel comfortable staying here. Like, I'm good with being in this spot. So, if you ever get that gut feeling that's telling you do not stay parked there, please, please, please do not stay parked wherever you're parked. Follow your gut feeling, because I've seen horror stories. I've seen videos of people, been attacked. I even saw a video of this lady where her daughter, she was living out of a van, right? And her daughter hadn't heard from her. And they came to find out that her mom was actually, what's the thing? Like, she was deceased in the van. She was attacked, and they ended up finding her deceased in the van. And this was, I think, like after weeks or so that they couldn't, she couldn't, like, she hadn't spoken to her mom or whatever, and they didn't hear from her mom, and they actually found the van, and her mom's body had decayed in the van. And because it was summertime, it was such a bad smell. She said it was such a bad smell when they got to the van that they could smell it from outside. And it was really, really bad. Oh, you know what? So yeah, so they had found her mom in the van, but I don't know if it was where it was that her mom had parked, but it just looked like it was desolate, and it wasn't a good area. It didn't look like she was in a good area where she was parked at. So when they found her body, It was so deteriorated that I mean, of course, they knew it was her mom because it was her van, and they identified the van and everything. But her body was like extremely decayed. Yeah, so if you ever get the gut feeling that you don't want to stay somewhere, or something, like I said, something's telling you not to stay where you're parked, don't stay where you're parked. Like, follow your gut feeling. Oh, let me tell you, I got a story for y'all. Let me tell you how I was parked in an area, right? I was parked in an area, and I was parked where it was like the front of my van and the back of my van were literally like in between two really huge trees, right? And I was wondering what this guy was doing. So I was parked in between two trees, right? And all of a sudden, it's like I had fallen asleep. It was like 11 something. It was Saturday night. Oh, Friday night. Excuse me. It was a Friday night. And I had laid down already. Me and Zuri had laid down. And I was half asleep. I was already falling asleep. I was half asleep. And Zuri started barking. Zuri's my little mama, my little fur baby. So she's barking. And I'm like, shh, stop barking. I cut it out. But I didn't realize that the reason she was barking was because, like, somebody was moving the van. But I'm telling you, I was half asleep and I was exhausted, so I didn't really pay mind to it. So, she's barking, so I'm like, shh, be quiet. So I realized that the reason she was barking was because somebody was like, and then that's when I noticed that somebody was moving the van. So I'm like, what the hell is going on? So at first I got like a little nervous, right? You're going to understand why I'm laughing. So at first I got a little nervous. And then I realized that when the reason she was barking is because I hear people talking, right? I hear someone talk. I hear voices. So like I said, my van was parked, like the back and the front of the van. Like, my van is here, and it was two huge trees, right? So I look. Sorry, I know I'm a little distracted in my talking, but that's because I'm paying attention to when I'm driving. So I look, and I open the curtain here. So I have it where, let's see if I can show you. See right here, it's magnets. So I can literally look, like I peek through here, right? And so I peeked through the curtain, and I looked into the side mirror. So I looked into the side mirror, and I see that this street is horrible right here. And I see that there's this young girl, right? There's a young girl that is leaning on the van, right? She looked like she was maybe in her early 20s. So she's leaning on the van, and I see that as her hands are leaning on the van, she's just looking around like this. But because her and the guy, and there was a guy behind her, and they were having sex. And he literally like I felt that's what the movement of the van was, and that's why Zuri started barking. Because they started moving the van, but I didn't notice it because I was half asleep. So I see through the mirror, and I was like, I could have opened my side door, and they probably would scared the crap out of them. But then I was thinking, if I would have scared them, they probably would have attacked me. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna let them finish. Let them have their little adventure. And I think it took probably like half an hour or so, maybe a little bit more. And I let them finish. But all I know is that I never parked there again. It wasn't a bad thing that happened, but it was a thing where I didn't want to experience that again. So, but I did have one time, I did have a scary moment, but we'll leave that for another video. This is just good stories. Like, it started off like as to why I started my van journey, and you know, I wanted to end it on a good note, which is why I ended it with the story of the young couple, and where what I thought was something wrong, it kind of wasn't. It was like their little, you know, little sexcapade. So it's whatever. They weren't doing anything wrong. They weren't trying to get in the van or nothing. And you know, it's fine. It's whatever. So, you know, they were just doing their thing. So it's okay. It wasn't like nothing really bad. So I let them finish. And then it's like I had to literally wait. I had to wait for them to finish so I can be able to go to sleep. Because I wasn't... Oh, there's like a parking right here. How did nobody park here? Oh, this is a Wednesday side. You know what? That's why nobody parked here, because this is a Wednesday side. Tomorrow's Wednesday. I don't want to park it here. I want to park it on the Tuesday side. Oh, shush. Shush, shush. Stop it. Shh. So anyway, so stop it. You're gonna scare the people. So that's my whole story. It wasn't nothing bad. They weren't doing anything bad. I let them finish or whatever, and then you know, I fell asleep. It wasn't a big deal. I had to wait. And because I didn't have to get up early the next morning, I didn't care. It wasn't that big a deal. I wasn't going to get mad at them doing their thing. You know, they had their little memory. They're going to talk about it when they're older. Yeah, you know, it was this big van or whatever. So, I got to go around the other way. There's no parking over here. There's no Tuesday parking. I gotta find a Tuesday parking. Oh my God, this is horrible here. They're fixing this whole area over here. So anyway, pardon me on my video making. You know, I'm an amateur, so you know, it's one of my first lives, I'm a newbie at this. So it'll get better. I'm kind of focused on my driving right now, so I don't want it to be where, I'm paying more attention to the video than to my driving. So if I'm a little distracted, just understand, oh look, there's a parking right there. And there's a parking right here. You know what? Let me go around and park it there, and then I'll move it in the morning. Yeah, let me move it. I'll move it in the morning. Oh, you okay, Mama? So, I keep forgetting that I have you guys live. Distracted again. I have squirrel moments. Forgive me. So that's my whole thing of why I got into van life. Why I made the decision that I made. Somebody, of course, I have a whole bunch of other stories. Shh, Zuri. I have a whole bunch of other stories. But right now you got that one where somebody had their little shush. Somebody had their little sexcapade. And you know yeah, so that's a good part of the story. But like I said, I have other stories, and they're gonna come up as well. But right now, you got the beginning of my journey as to why. And wait, do I park? I fit here. I'm gonna park it right here in the corner. I usually don't park while I'm on video, but two of my grandsons can't stand that when I reverse. So I know I'm sorry if I'm driving y'all crazy turning the light on and off, but it's just that there are people walking by and stuff. There are people walking by and they're seeing, they look in here and they can see the light or whatever. So, oh, I had to turn off the music. I didn't even realize I had the music on. I think I'm gonna end this live because it's already like 30 minutes and I don't want to keep saying the same thing over and over and over again. And yeah, if anybody gets to see this, I appreciate you guys. Thank you to all my supporters, my family. I have a total, I think it was like 67 now. Thank you so much. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. If you like this, please give me a like, subscribe, share. I appreciate it all. I'm trying to grow my channel. Of course, everything gets done little by little. I don't mind. You got to start somewhere, right? So my thing is, I'm starting here. I'm going to continue to post so you guys can follow my journey. And I will be back with the story of what happened when this guy was banging on oh wait, I think I told you guys that already. I'm not sure. I have to check my videos. But there was this guy started banging on the van one night, and that kind of was a little scary, but I'll post a video on that. But for now, have a good night and watch Mema on the Move. I'll see you soon.